hometown kids in front. The women are next. Marisol Vidal-Ortiz and Trish Leo.
New England strikers Marisol Vidal-Ortiz is a powerhouse of non-stop fighting action. Drawing from her championship experience, she looks not only to make the transformation to combat martial arts, but to lead the way.
I will punch and kick non-stop for 3 full throttle minutes.
Miami Force's Trisha Hill Leo is considered the most intimidating athlete in her division. She is a multi-world title holder in other combat sports and brings that world-class experience to the Miami roster.
I have the experience to impose my will on my opponent.
Match 3, and it is time for the ladies here inside the James L. Knight Center. Trish TNT Leo in her World Combat League debut. She's in the light blue pants fighting for Miami. Marisol Vidal-Ortiz, the veteran in the World Combat League, and probably one might argue the stronger of the two.
Well, actually, Trish Hill is probably the stronger of the two. She has a lot more experience, not in the WCL, but Trish is a world boxing champion and a world Thai boxing champion. She's got a lot more experience than Ortiz. It'll be interesting because Trish has had about a 2-year layoff, and like we stated earlier, this is her first time in this new format. So, hopefully Ortiz can capitalize on the fact that Trish has had a layoff, a little ring rust, and the adjustment to the new style of fighting.
New style here in the World Combat League. It's full throttle action all the time. Coming up on 2 minutes in our 3-minute match. And Cecil Peoples there, the ref, don't forget, if you missed the top of the show, there's no passivity here. If you're not in the fight, you could award a penalty point to your opponent for not being in the fight.
These ladies have thrown a lot of really good techniques. But as you can see, Trish is definitely the heavy-handed puncher here, and Ortiz she's doing a really good job of sticking into this fight. But you can tell that these punches are starting to wear on her a little bit. That was another good right hand by Trish.
Trish Leo definitely taking the fight too solely, and
that was a good 1-2 combination by Ortiz.
Let's go, fight.
And this is just a classic WCL girl fight, which means some of the best fights of the entire night are always the girls.
Stop. Back in the ring. Next time, I'll give a point.
There's a warning to Trish.
I think that was for the holding. I'm not quite sure, but she's grabbing around the neck a little bit too much.
Under 1 minute. Miami in the lead on the team score here. Eastern Conference Finals. Every match matters.
This is an interesting combination here for these guys. What do the judges want to see? You see that power, those big overhand rights, big left hooks of Trish Leo versus Ortiz's combination. She's throwing 4 or 5 punches to Trish Leo's 1 or 2, but it's going to be see what are the judges going to want. They're going to see the power, or they're going to see the person who's the business.
Down to 10 seconds. Might we see a knockout punch here before the bell?
I tell you, they're trying. I just don't see it. Both are really well-conditioned athletes here.
Yep, well-conditioned, good fight.
I should have worked the inside leg kick more and split her legs out and then go overhand right and knock her out.
Look at this exchange of combinations there. These both, and then great body attack by Trish Leo. And there's just no backing up with these girls. That's kind of trademark WCL there.
Match number 3, Leo with the win, 15-10 over Vidal-Ortiz, and that's great news for Miami. Hometown team now out to a 43-33 lead. They're up by 10 with more action in the first half. Second half action continues here in the World Combat League inside the James L. Knight Center. The ladies back in the ring. Trish Leo, the victor, first time out tonight against Marisol Vidal-Ortiz. Ortiz trying to rally the strikers. Strikers won their first match of the second half.
Ortiz, I'll be honest, it was a very, a 3-point margin in this league is an extremely close fight. This is almost a victory for Ortiz because they really didn't expect her to be able to handle the power of Trish Leo.
Leo was on the attack a lot in their first meeting earlier in the first half.
She seems a little sluggish to start off here, whether she's just kind of resting up to get things going or not. But Ortiz is definitely coming out in her face, throwing the more techniques right now.
You know, World Combat League, team fighting, 2 halves, and you fight twice in one night, provided you don't get KO'd, obviously, and at 6 minutes. How does that sit for a fighter?
Well, I mean, when you say 6 minutes to the average fighter, it doesn't seem like that much. It's actually the pace of these matches that make it them. Each 3 minutes is a fight, and is scored. So so basically what you're getting is a 15-round fight in 3 minutes, and that's kind of the distinction here. These guys are throwing a lot more techniques and a lot more stuff than you would normally see in the average kickboxing or boxing match, and that's really what we're seeing here. It's like a sprint, and a sprint is exhausting. Whether you're on a 50-yard sprint or a 100-yard sprint, it's exhausting, and that's what this is. This is sprint fighting.
And we're seeing some of that come into play there. You saw Trish leaning in on Marisol a little bit. Both fighters probably a little bit tired, obviously. Minute and a half left. And spinning back kick.
It was blocked, but just showing the power that she has there. She just is knocking Ortiz around with just her power.
Leo got a little bit of a lesson there on, she kind of turned her back and was starting to walk away, and Marisol stayed on the attack.
Yeah, she scored some great techniques.
And New England gets a penalty point.
Yeah, Trish was holding, she got a penalty for holding. This last minute, they're picking it up. And this is the interesting, change in tides here. Look at Ortiz. She's backing up Trish Hill. Trish Hill is by far the more powerful fighter. Everybody knows this, And she is being backed up by the less powerful fighter. It's changing.
Look at the momentum shift here, as you just mentioned, Guy. Another penalty point, holding again. So New England already 2 points ahead in this match. And we talked earlier, something had to be said in that locker room at halftime. Something has occurred because these New England fighters are coming out. Katie barred the door. They're giving everything they've got. And another penalty point, holding again.
I think this is just fatigue at this point. I think this is where you're seeing the ring rust on Trish Hill. She is, like I said, she is such a great fighter. I think the new style of fighting is kind of throwing her off a little bit, plus her inactivity. Now here's the total gym replay, and you just see the combinations. Here's that spinning heel kick. Even though it was blocked, look how it knocked her completely off balance. That just shows you the power of Trish Hill. And here's Ortiz on the attack. That was a 4-punch combination, all that landed.
I did what I could, should have brought it in more and got out the way. I mean, I learn every time I fight.
And that's testament there to Marisol, just working all the way through the fight. And despite the effort, somewhat of a surprise, but add in the penalty points, and we are tied at 14-all for the fight. New England